Well, good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero in a different outside in a different location. No, this is not a green screen. I am in the Bahamas right now in front of the Atlantis Hotel Resorts. It's beautiful out here right now. Nice sunny skies. It's warm. It's like in the 90s. Nice and humid as well if you like that Caribbean type of tropical weather. But back home, it's a little bit different. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So we are going to be seeing some warmer conditions tomorrow, maybe right around the low 80s, but we're going to see a shower or thunderstorm chance with a small thin line making its way through in the afternoon hours. Then for Friday, we're going to be seeing mostly sunny conditions, but once that cold front made its way through with the showers and thunderstorms, the temperatures are going to drop. We're going to see highs for Friday in the upper 60s to the low 70s. So that's what we can expect for the day on Friday, and the cooler weather with highs only in the 70s. We'll go through the weekend. It's not going to be that bad of a weekend to start out with, however. So Saturday's going to start out fairly nice, but then some spotty showers later in the morning, maybe a few rumbles of thunder as well later in the afternoon going into the evening hours for Saturday. Then Sunday morning, it looks to be some periods of heavy rain at times, but then it breaks up a little bit. We are still going to see some scattered showers throughout the afternoon, but again, the high temperatures won't be getting out of the upper 70s to only about 80 degrees, and it's going to be rainy, so it's going to be that kind of nasty, raw kind of day for Sunday. Then going into Monday, it starts looking a little bit better. It's going to be partly to mostly sunny skies. And then going through the week, it's going to be not really warming up too much more. And the upper 70s to the low 80s. So it's one of those kind of weeks that are still a little bit cooler than what we would want for this time of the year. But it's not going to be that bad of a week. I also do want to talk about Hurricane Harvey for a little bit. So it's still in the area. I'm actually going to put up a small image here real quick. This is where Harvey is right now. It's still in Texas. I can't believe I've been covering this for almost a little over a week, and Harvey is still in the same spot since last weekend. So Harvey's still dumping quite a bit of rain. The biggest surprise, I guess I would say, that I heard of with some of these areas, they do have these dams that are set up. However, to prevent the dam from breaking, they had to open the floodgates and intentionally flood some areas. So some towns were intentionally flooded to prevent the dams from breaking and flooding everywhere. I thought that was one of the most shocking things with the hurricane. And another statistic that I was looking up, through today, about 21 trillion gallons of water was dumped over Texas since about Saturday. That I have never seen in all my experience with forecasting the weather. So that is a major soaker. It is the #1 rainstorm that hit Texas. It's probably right up there with Katrina in terms of the worst hurricanes that ever struck the mainland U.S. Not too sure with Hawaii or Alaska. Alaska I don't think really gets too much, but the mainland U.S., the only other one that was this devastating I could think of was Katrina. And now that we're going into the after effects with this hurricane, we are going to be seeing the same kind of thing with Katrina. So in the next few weeks, it still looks like they're going to be doing rescues, lots of rescues. Then for the next few months to few years, that's where the rebuilding starts. And maybe about 5 years later, we could still be dealing with damage from Hurricane Harvey. Just like 5 to almost a decade later, we were dealing with damage from Hurricane Katrina at the 10-year anniversary in 2015. So it's very devastating. My hearts and prayers do go out to all those families that were struggling and in desperate need down there. And if you do want to reach out, there are lots of different organizations you could donate to, different like the Red Cross and different things like that. So if you want to help, definitely donate. That's going to be the best way. Don't try and get down there yourself and try and help. The best way is to do the donations through like big organizations like the Red Cross. So now back to the lighter note. I do want to show you a couple things here. I don't know if I could turn the camera around. Let me try. Nice, beautiful shots here. I'm just going to see if I can get around There's also this nice little rock outcrop where I happen to put the tripod on, but overall, this is a beautiful spot where I happen to be at. So that's the Atlantis Hotel. This is a nice little beach it's on, going over some nice beautiful palm trees, and we're seeing this pretty much, at least in the Caribbean, throughout the next couple of days. Because when looking at the forecast models in the Caribbean, if you do happen to be traveling to the Caribbean, it doesn't look too bad. It's fairly quiet, and then when I was talking with some of the locals here as well, they said it's been fairly quiet over the Caribbean. Most of the Atlantic Basin hurricane stuff or tropical storm stuff has been just to the north or just to the south. Like Gert. Gert went straight south of the Caribbean over Mesoamerica. So that one was to the south. There was a couple others I forgot which went just north of the Caribbean area and hit Bermuda. So a couple different spots. In the mainland of Nassau, I'm in Nassau right now, but in the mainland Bahamas area, it's been fairly quiet. However, there's still some tropics to take a look at. So we got one more tropical storm to take a look at, and I'm just going to put up an image here of the entire Atlantic hurricane or the Atlantic Basin. So this is another invest right now that the National Hurricane Center is taking a look at, and we are seeing a couple of these kind of like waves coming off the coast of Africa. So I'll be keeping an eye on that for you as well to see if we do have anything that may make its way into the East Coast and maybe heading up to the tri-state, because I know that's where I mostly forecast for, is in the tri-state region. So overall, wanted to keep this short. I know that the camera I chose tends to overheat. I haven't had that yet, but I don't want to really push it too much, so I'm not going to go that much longer. So now then for the forecast, now this is for the tri-state region. For tonight, mostly clear, nice high pressure in place, temperatures in the low 60s, so you might want to grab a jacket. I don't want to grab a jacket here because it's quite warm, but if you're heading out tonight throughout the tri-state, low 60s to the upper 50s, so definitely grab that light jacket if you make your way out. Tomorrow looks like a mostly sunny day. We may see some thunderstorms later in the afternoon, but the highs will be topping off in the upper 70s to the low 80s. Then once that cold front makes its way through, it's going to drop again. So tomorrow night, we're going to be seeing temperatures getting down again into the upper 50s to the low 60s, so you might want to grab that jacket again. Some more increasing clouds tomorrow night ahead of a cooler day that we're going to see on Friday. And then here is, let me step off. Here is the 7-day forecast. So we are seeing cooler temperatures for your day on Friday. Then we're going to be seeing cool temperatures throughout the weekend. And going into next week, the temperatures really don't go up too much. And then kind of your typical summer-like pattern. Some days of nice weather, then some days of some spot showers, and maybe a thunderstorm in some of the afternoons. So again, this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero on site in Nassau, the beautiful Bahamas area in the Atlantis Resort. If you ever get a chance to get down here, it is beautiful. There's also a nice little fishing community with a marina not too far from here. So if you love fishing, it's a beautiful spot for that. Overall, though, enjoy the week ahead. This is, again, meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Have a great rest of your evening and enjoy the cooler weather if you like that coming up for this weekend.